describe the culture surrounding this football team?
You know, the culture is actually...
Hi there, everyone. This is Sean 007 1986, and welcome to Week 18 of my NFL Picks video. Also, Happy New Year, everyone. That's right. We're into the final week of the regular season of the NFL. With so much crazy stuff that's happening in the NFL lately, I wouldn't be too surprised if it didn't happen. But yes, we are now in the final week of the 2018 NFL season. Now, normally, I'm going to do a little something right here, because this one's going to be a long one, so be sure to stick around. But let's get a recap of what happened. Well, I mean, no surprise there. My team lost again, this time against the San Francisco 49ers. I am not bitter. I am not upset. I'm just 100% disappointed. That's all I can say right here. That's really all I can say on this whole situation. But with San Francisco, they managed to be happy because they managed to capture the number one seed in the NFC, the home field advantage, and the first round bye. How did that happen, you ask? Well, simple. Detroit lost to the Dallas Cowboys on Saturday on some bullshit play calling, no surprise, and also the officiating crew that screwed the Lions out of a higher seed against the Cowboys. Well, I just got word that they'll be officiating the Baltimore Ravens and Pittsburgh Steelers game with huge playoff implications in that situation. But, you know, Detroit lost against the Cowboys on Saturday, and the Philadelphia Eagles lost to the Arizona Cardinals, which is proof that Philly is frauds. So that actually happened. Speaking of another fraud, Kansas City, for whatever fucking reason, managed to beat the Cincinnati Bengals to manage to clinch their 8th consecutive AFC West title. I mean, I know, right? This is the motherfucking Chiefs of all fucking people. They're always gonna find someone. Knowing the Chiefs, they always gonna find some way to manage to get into the playoffs. For some cast and everything. And the Bengals are also eliminated, so that's a tough pill to swallow right there. But that's a tough pill to swallow. Yeah, that's true. And it's going to be a lot crazier than ever, this situation. As for Baltimore, I don't know what happened to Baltimore, but man, when they woke up to play against the Dolphins, they choose fucking violence. And violence they did, because they beat the fucking bricks off the Miami Dolphins. 56-19, held them to under 20 fucking points, and Lamar Jackson had a perfect passer rating in his in the game, his 3rd in the career. He's only one behind Ben Roethlisberger, who had four games with a perfect passer rating. And in fact, Lamar Jackson's in the running for MVP. I mean, I wouldn't be too surprised, but he has some competition. Him, Christian McCaffrey, Brock Purdy. You know, there's a lot of potential teams out there that's in that good company. So it will be pretty interesting to see how this plays out. For real, it will be very interesting to see how this plays out. Now, with all this being said and done, well, I would just go to my picks video and, you know, we do all the whole well, not exactly. For you see, yours truly got to do the playoff scenarios for this week's game. And keep in mind, all these games that are going to be played this Sunday are all rivalry games. So, you know, a lot of pride is on the line in these games, and for some teams, this is their final shot. This is their final fucking chance of making it to the playoffs. But and also the Bears have successfully clinched the number 1 seed thanks to Carolina. So let's take a look at the playoff picture right now. We'll start with the AFC. So far, Baltimore. Here's the teams that already clinched. Baltimore clinched the AFC North divisional title, the number 1 seed, lone first round bye, home field advantage. Kansas City Chiefs clinched the AFC West division title. Browns got the playoff berth, while the Miami's got the playoff berth. Now here's how it's gonna go down. The Miami Dolphins will play against the Buffalo Bills at 8:20 on Sunday on NBC. For Buffalo, they can clinch the AFC East divisional title with a win, and they can also clinch a playoff berth with a Buffalo tie, or a Pittsburgh loss or tie, or a Jacksonville loss or tie, or a Houston and Indy tie. And speaking of Houston and Indy, Houston Texans and the Indianapolis Colts will play on Saturday at 8:15 on ESPN. Houston can clinch the AFC South Division title with a Houston win and a Jacksonville loss on Sunday. Houston can also clinch a playoff berth with a win, or a Houston tie, a Jacksonville loss, and a Pittsburgh loss and tie. Same for the Colts. Same thing, but it's a little different. For the Colts, they can clinch the AFC South Division title with a win, or a Jacksonville loss, or an Indy tie and a Jacksonville loss. Indy can also clinch a playoff berth with an Indy win, or an Indy tie and a Pittsburgh loss or tie. Speaking of Jacksonville Jaguars will play against the Tennessee Titans on Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on CBS. Jacksonville can clinch the AFC South Division title with a Jacksonville win, or a Jacksonville tie in an Indy-Houston tie. But they can also clinch a playoff berth with a Jacksonville tie or Pittsburgh loss or tie, or a Pittsburgh loss, a Denver loss or tie, and a Houston Indy game doesn't end in a tie. As for Miami, they already clinched the playoff spot, and they'll be playing against the Bills Sunday, 8:20 on ABC. For them to clinch the NFC East division title, all they gotta do is just either win or tie. As for the Pittsburgh Steelers, face off against the Baltimore Ravens on Saturday at 4:30 p.m. on both ESPN and ABC. By the way, Baltimore will be resting their starters. Pittsburgh can clinch a playoff berth with a win and a Buffalo's loss, or a win and a Jacksonville loss or tie, or a win and a Houston Indy tie, or a Pittsburgh tie, a Jacksonville loss, and Houston and Indy doesn't end in a tie, or a Jacksonville loss, a Denver win, and Houston and Indy doesn't end in a tie. And that's for the AFC. As for the NFC, oh man, it's interesting. But you see, the only teams that clinched so far are the San Francisco 49ers, who clinched the AFC West division title, got the number 1 seed, the lone first round bye, and the home field advantage. Detroit Lions got the NFC North division title, while the Cowboys, Rams, and Eagles clinched playoff berths. Now the Atlanta Falcons will face off against the New Orleans Saints Sunday at 1 p.m. Atlanta can clinch the NFC South Division title with a win and a Tampa Bay loss. The Dallas Cowboys will face off against the Washington Commanders Redskins Sunday at 4:25 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Fox. Dallas can clinch the NFC East Division title with a win, or a Dallas tie, a Philly tie, or a Philadelphia loss. The Green Bay Packers will be facing off against the Chicago Bears Sunday at 4:25 p.m. on Eastern Standard Time on CBS. Green Bay Packers can clinch a playoff berth with a Green Bay win, or a Green Bay tie, a Seattle loss or tie, a Saints loss or tie, or a Green Bay tie, a Seattle loss, a Tampa Bay loss, or a Green Bay tie, a Seattle tie, a Tampa Bay loss or tie, or a Minnesota loss or tie, a Seahawks loss, and a Tampa Bay loss, or a Minnesota loss or tie, Seahawks loss, and a Saints loss. As for the Vikings, who are playing Detroit at 1 p.m. Sunday on Eastern Standard Time on Fox, Minnesota could clinch a playoff berth with a Minnesota win, a Green Bay loss, a Seattle loss, a Tampa Bay loss, or a Minnesota win, a Green Bay loss, a Seattle loss, or Saints loss. As for the New Orleans Saints, who are still alive, mind you, still alive, the Saints can clinch the NFC South Division title with a New Orleans Saints win and a Tampa Bay loss or tie, or a Saints tie and a Tampa Bay loss. But they can also clinch a playoff berth with a Saints win, a Seattle loss and tie, a Green Bay loss or tie, or a Saints tie, a Seattle loss, and a Green Bay loss. As for the Philadelphia Eagles, who we face off against the New York Giants Sunday at 4:25 p.m. on Eastern Standard Time on CBS, Philadelphia can clinch the NFC East Division title with a Philadelphia win and a Dallas loss or tie, or a Philly tie and a Dallas loss. As for the Seahawks, who's facing Arizona at 4:25 p.m. in Eastern Standard Time on Fox, Seattle clinches a playoff berth with a Seattle win and a Green Bay loss or tie, or a Seattle tie, a Green Bay loss, and a Tampa Bay loss or tie, or a Seattle tie, a Green Bay loss, or a Saints loss or tie. And as for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who we face off against the Carolina Panthers Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Fox, Tampa Bay can clinch the NFC South Division title with a Tampa Bay win or a Tampa Bay tie and Saints loss or tie. But Tampa Bay can clinch a playoff berth with a Tampa Bay tie, a Seattle loss, or a Green Bay loss or tie. Yeah, that is so goddamn long, it's not even funny. But yeah, these are definitely the playoff clinching scenarios for Week 18. It will be interesting, to say the least, how this plays out, to be perfectly honest. It will be interesting to see how this really plays out. But with that being said, let's get to my picks. So, for this one, it's going to be the 50-50 crap. It's going to be interesting, so here we go. I got the Seahawks beating the Cardinals. I got the Ravens beating the Steelers. I got the Bucks beating Carolina. Browns beating the Bengals. Lions beating the Vikings. Packers beating the Bears. Texans beating the Colts. Chiefs beating the Chargers. Broncos beating the Raiders. Bills beating the Dolphins. Jets beating the Patriots. Saints beating the Falcons. Eagles beating the Giants. Niners beating the Rams. Titans beating the Jaguars. And my team beating the Cowboys. Yes, and that is it for my Week 18 picks video. I have to say, man, we've been through a lot of craziness that happened in the NFL lately for 18 weeks. A lot of drama, a lot of craziness, a lot of bullshit, and also, but I'm just happy that we managed to reach this far. I just want to thank all of y'all to be on this magical ride together. We have seen lots of crazy stuff that's happening in the world of football. Everyone is enjoying ourselves. We all have good laughs. And we also make fun of some teams, and we also call teams frauds. Eagles. But yeah. Yeah, it will be pretty interesting to see how the playoffs will be interesting. Now, I will say this though, the playoffs will be kicking off on Monday, June 15th. That's Martin Luther King Jr.'s day. So yeah, that'll be interesting to see. And it'll be a Monday nighter. Yes, it kind of makes sense if you think about it, because this Monday coming up, it's going to be the college football playoffs, championship game between Minnesota and Washington. Fuck you, Alabama! But yeah, man, it's going to be pretty interesting to see how this one plays out, man, and I can't wait to see how the wild card is gonna play out. So can't wait. And well, that's about it. As always, be sure to leave a comment, like this video, subscribe to this channel, click the notification bell so you don't miss an update, share with friends, share with your neighbors, share with others, and that's about it. Until next time, this is Sean 007-1986 signing off. Thank you for watching this video, really means a lot, and I'll see you in the next one. And for all the teams, I want to wish you all a very happy new year, and for y'all who are keep fighting, trying to get into the playoffs, even though this is your last chance to do so, just remember the #1 golden rule. Don't get